My name is Allison Matos. I'm a student in the Public Policy Administration bachelor's program with SPC. Obtaining this degree, more of a personal satisfaction. I don't really need it for my current job. However, I've always wanted to obtain a bachelor's degree. Started a little bit later. I'm 32. And with that being said, the case that I've been assigned is case study number 4, an area waste authority for the St. Croix, the Great Four-County Garbage War. So here we go. Again, my name's Allison Matos. I am happily married to my best friend. We just celebrated our 10 years together. I have one daughter. She's in 8th grade and she attends Palm Harbor Middle School. She's amazing. She's super into CrossFit and just a really smart kiddo. My main hobby is I'm fortunate enough to spend every single weekend out on the water, rain or shine sometimes, or I should say shine or rain sometimes. And we like to spend time at our local islands here in Pinellas County and Pasco County, such as Three Rooker, Inklote, North Inklote Sandbar. Those are kind of our places we like to call our second home. In summary, the Great Four-County Garbage War consists of 4 counties. So we have Norton County, Apostle County, Burt County, and Larch County. They are all the counties are located between Minnesota and Wisconsin, located in what is known as the St. Croix region. In the early 80s, Norton County floated a $20 million bond for a new waste combustor called the Tamarack Incinerator. In addition, it was sold as a stimulus, so Norton County not only could install the waste combustor called the Tamarack Incinerator, but they were also to create a new roadway intended to improve the local arterial system. So at the time, they thought, this is going to make some money, we're going to make profit, and in return, we'll be able to do other things that our county needs. However, they didn't make that money back so quick, or at all. They had expectations that it was going to generate large profits above and beyond what was loaned to them, which would allow for other developments in the county, like I said, other services, other things that would benefit the citizens of the county. With charges estimated at the time to be as low as $20 per ton of the waste burn, the salespeople of the Tamarack convinced Norton County that they were sure the other counties and cities would pay Norton County to take their trash. Well, unfortunately, that didn't happen. Apparently, Norton County wasn't alone, though. I learned that in the early 80s and 90s, there were issues in the solid waste industry, not only in Norton County, but a lot of other cities across the United States were lagging behind. Norton County not only didn't make profits, but they also couldn't even recoup the money that they put into the Tamarack Incinerator with that $20 million bond. Now they're in debt, and they pretty much only have 2 options. The first option would be to come up with a way to pay off the debt, or close the incinerator down, which would result in a bad credit line for Norton County. So they can either ruin their credit, shut it down, not worry about it anymore, but they probably won't be able to do many other things for a very long time. We're talking about $20 million in debt. If Norton County continues falling into debt, though, they may not be able to maintain their share of financial support for the other 4 counties for programs such as the emergency medical services, the vocational technical programs, and other shared programs and services with the surrounding counties. Currently, Norton County is paying a higher rate for the trash to try to make up the debt, while the surrounding counties are paying less. As a result, the St. Croix Development Commission, also known as the SCDC, was created, and they meet multiple times per year to discuss proposals to help with this situation. Anton Krabovsky, I hope I pronounced that correctly, he's the director of planning of the SCDC, and he proposes an idea that would be called the Area-Wide Waste Authority, or AWA. This would allow for the other counties, Apostle, Burt, and Larch, to assist with Norton County's debt. His idea is to have Norton County citizens pay $159, which would be a decrease from what they currently pay, And the other 3 counties, Apostle, Larch, and Burnt, would also pay the $159, but that's an increase of what they currently pay. I'll explain this in more detail in the coming slides. So, like I said, the St. Croix region is Norton County, Apostle County, Burnt County, and Larch County. Currently, Norton County pays approximately $267 per year per paying customer due to the flow control ordinance, which is currently sending 70% of their trash to the Tamarack incinerator. Anton's idea is to have Norton County citizens pay $159, which would be a decrease of $108. So, however, the other 3 counties would also be paying $159, which is an increase of $18 of what they currently pay. So what is the main issue? The issue here is, should the 3 neighboring counties, part of the St. Croix region, all pay the price to help Norton County pay off their $20 million debt by operating a 4-county disposal setup as a single system? Why is this an issue? Well, the reason this is an issue is because the Tamarack did not work out the way it was expected to. It caused Norton County to be in more debt because it was not profiting any money, and it didn't even make the money to pay it off. The total volume of trash expected was overestimated, and other counties were using different ways to get rid of their trash rather than sending it to the Tamarack. So the surrounding counties were using other ways to send their trash off, and they were paying less. Why would they send it to the Tamarack to pay more if there was other options out there for them? They had their own ways to dispose of trash at a cheaper rate, so why use the Tamarack? This situation is why the residents of St. Croix started what is called the Great 4-County War. With all the trash competition in the region, dump operators began to cheat on environmental standards, environmental requirements, which could pose to be dangerous and cause more pollution to the area and the surrounding areas. The situation, along with many others all over the United States, are leading politicians and administrators to find legal methods of imposing flow control on their local waste being generated. So there's a lot of stakeholders here. We're talking about 4 different counties. The citizens of the St. Croix region. So you have Norton County first. They feel that the surrounding counties need to help them. They're angry with their elected legislators, their county commissioners, for the current higher trash fees. You have Burnt County. They don't want to pay any more money. They feel like, why should we pay Norton County's debt? Same thing with Apostle County. Same thing with Larch County. None of them want to pay the debt of somebody else. So I also have the Norton County Commissioners. They're trying to figure out a way to keep the taxpayers in Norton County satisfied, considering to repeal the flow control ordinance, which is currently making them take all their trash to the Tamarack incinerator, while the other counties don't have to do that. They're taking it to the lowest cost, dumps and landfills, and their tipping fees are lower and things like that. But they also don't want to blow the town's credit, nor do they want to continue to raise the fees. They're elected officials. Commissioners are elected. They want to do what they can to make their citizens happy. They want to show that they're looking into the issue and they're going to try to find a resolution. And you have the commissioners in the other 3 regions. They do understand that if Norton County goes into debt and shuts down the Tamarack incinerator, which as a result would ruin their credit line, it could pose a serious area-wide threat to all of the surrounding counties because, like I said before, they all 4 counties, Norton, Burnt, Apostle, and Larch, all share some services. Now we have Erwin Snyder, who's one of the specific Norton County commissioners that was mentioned in the case study. And Erwin Snyder believed that the Tamarack would handle all the surrounding counties' trash to make large profits and would eventually be able to cut their constituents' taxes since the combustor would be paid off and still be making a profit. We have Anton Kurvosky. He was a director of planning at the St. Croix Development Commission, also known as the SCDC. And his biggest goal is he wants to come up with a way to provide a win-win situation for all of those involved. And then we have Marty Martingrove. She was Anton Kurvosky's assistant. She didn't seem very interested in waste management. At one point, she said, this is not what brought me into this field of work. I didn't really want to learn about waste. But as time went on and Anton was, throwing ideas off with her, bouncing ideas back and forth with her, she started becoming more interested in it. Kind of similar to how I started kind of getting interested in the story myself. When I saw the case study, I was like, I don't even really know what this is about. And then I got really into it after I read it a few times. I was like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. So I kind of feel like I was kind of on Marty's level. And coincidentally, I'm an assistant as well. I was determined to help Anton, prepare for his presentation and figure this out. Then we have Congresswoman Moe and Wisconsin Senator Ben Lawful. They were both interested in assisting with supporting a new four-county flow control and waste disposal system in the area of St. Croix River. We had Finn Everson, which was the mayor of Brownlee, probably the least interested in this entire plan. Finn was not impressed with the plan because he did not want his taxpayers in the town of Brownlee receiving an increase in their annual fee for waste. I did try to include in the previous slides most of the key stakeholders in this case study, but there were so many, and there's probably even more than what are actually talked about, because there's millions of people involved between these four counties. So there's a lot more. I'm not going to go into detail for each of these specific individuals, but I'll name them in their position. You can see there was Guy Ambrose, who was the county manager for Apostle County. Tabitha Brock, she was the mayor of Norton County. Erin Crum, she was the commissioner of Apostle County. Finn Eberstein, who I just mentioned previously because he was very, very outspoken about how he felt. He was the mayor of Brownlee, which is located in Burnt County. Adam Fenkel, who is the county manager for Larch County and the current chairman of the St. Croix Development Council. Dennis Hammer, the director of operations of the SCDC. Martin Johansson, the president of Antlers Rotary Club. Anton Kurvovsky, director of planning of the SCDC. He's kind of the key player here, trying to get everybody together. We have Aaron McCloskey, who is the mayor of Deerslip, which is in Larch County. Marty Martingrove, who's the assistant to Anton Kurvovsky. Douglas Naismith, the commissioner to Apostle County. Erwin Snyder, commissioner in Norton County. Amy Temple, county manager in Burnt County. And Ferdy Washburn, city manager in Norton County. So as you can see, there's so many different areas that these people came from to listen to this presentation to try to come up with a solution. So there are people who are interested, whether they like the idea or not, they're still coming to hear it. So my expert interview. This here is, I decided to interview one of my colleagues who I work with. I work with Brendan Mackesy. He is a board certified attorney in city, county, and local government law, and he's also a member of the environmental and land use law section of the Florida Bar. He's been working for Pinellas County for over 10 years, and he's responsible for providing legal counsel and representation to multiple county departments to include environmental management, stormwater management, and most recently, coincidentally, solid waste. I thought he'd be a good fit to interview for this particular case study, and also with his recent involvement with solid waste. I think he was kind of the perfect fit to do an interview with. He is able to provide a thought-out logical analysis to the issue, especially now that he works with solid waste. The question that I asked him was, first of all, I gave him a summary of the entire case. As a lawyer with an environmental background, what is your perspective on trash incinerators? Brendan's answer was, they offer a net positive. First, the more trash that is burned, the less that must be landfilled. This prolongs the life of existing landfills, which accepts trash that cannot be burned, which is the ultimate goal of any landfill manager, with very rare exceptions, for example, contamination concerns. Furthermore, air pollution control has come a long way the last several decades. Advanced technology, such as scrubbers, is now available to help minimize air impacts. Moreover, stringent regulations are in place under the Clean Air Act to ensure continued attainment of national ambient air quality standards and other regulatory goals. Finally, trash incinerators generally produce power that can be used as energy or revenue source for the organization. Do you think the neighboring counties should help Norton County pay off their debt? Brendan's answer was, I do. First and foremost, notwithstanding any perceived cost inequities, there's still a public purpose for all 4 counties in ensuring that Tamarack continues to run efficiently. If Tamarack can no longer operate, the counties will all have to take trash elsewhere, which presents unforeseeable costs, both direct and indirect. The most prudent policy decision may be for the other 3 counties to minimize their risk by accepting the higher cost. For example, go with the known versus the unknown. And these preliminary considerations only account for trash. If Tamarack shuts down, Norton may need to divert funds for emergency medical services and adult vocational programs, which will have unforeseeable adverse impacts on the other counties. Finally, the facts do not suggest that Norton operated with any sort of gross negligence here. It simply made a business decision, as all local governments must do. Sometimes business decisions simply don't pay off as projected. There is legally or inherently wrong with a neighboring counties helping each other in this circumstance. You are presented with a proposal of any kind. What is the first thing you do to begin your analysis? His answer was, I ask, first of all, why is the proposal being made? What exactly does the proper want and why? With this context, I think whether agreeing to the proposal aligns with my organization's values. If it does, then I look deeper into fiscal and legal considerations. A proposal very well offers substantial policy benefits, but raise unacceptable liability concerns. It often comes down to a risk analysis, which is in many ways akin to a cost-benefit analysis. What piece of advice can you provide to public policy administration students? He said, learn the dynamics between different levels of government: federal, state, county, and city. How do they work together? Where is jurisdiction exclusive and where is it shared? Also be aware of other public, special districts, or quasi-public entities, utility companies. Many times, these other entities are a critical linchpin to serving your customers, the citizenry. Additionally, learn how the budget and appropriations process works. No matter where your precise interests lie, funding will be required. There are multiple ways for your organization to raise revenue: ad valorem taxes, or if available, non-ad valorem taxes, non-ad valorem assessments, government grants, regulatory and user fees, etc. Understanding these different avenues will help you plan and implement your organization's goals more judiciously and efficiently. After reading and analyzing the details of this case, participating in an expert interview, and rereading this case, I thought hard about what I think would be most appropriate recommendation and action plans to move forward, taking all perspectives into consideration. The surrounding counties are not necessarily responsible for Norton County's unplanned debt. I do think the neighboring counties should assist. After all, they do share services such as the 4-county emergency medical service, the adult vocational education programs, and some other services as well. If they don't get help, Norton County may have to withdraw its contributions to these shared services, which would affect all the counties involved. Also, in the long run, if this plan that Anton proposed is successful, it's going to benefit from profits made to share amongst all 4 counties to invest in future needs. Here's my reference. This is the case study, Chapter 5, Case 4, Area-Wide Waste Authority for the St. Croix, the Great 4-County Garbage War. Before I close, I wanted to share a quote with you. I found this quote from Helen Keller, which says, it's a short quote, but I think it's very strong and meaningful. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions or input, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My contact information is listed on my business card, which is on the screen, pictured here. Or you can send me an email via our course. And I'd like to know, do you agree or disagree with my recommendation? Is there something that you think from what I talked about would change your recommendation? Dr. K mentions throughout our course so far, there is no one size fits all in many situations that politicians and administrators and managers are presented with. So I'm sure there's many other recommendations that can be made that may or may not be better than mine. So I'm interested to hear. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you listening to my case study, and I look forward to hearing your input.